Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't see you there. I was just in the middle of sending off a $1 million email campaign and I was so enraptured in my work. So today, on Entrepreneurs in Vehicles, Getting Beverages, or EIVGB for short, today's vehicle is a leather chair. It's got 5 wheels, which is one more wheel than we normally ride on. And it was designed in probably China. It's probably of Chinese make, and it's actually pretty comfortable. But today's guest is Alex Brown, and probably the most surprising thing about him is that he is, despite his last name, he is actually white, which really catches a lot of people off guard. So Alex was one of the founders, or at least one of the people, he may have been a founder at least, who started Dollar Beard Club, which is now The Beard Club, which was sort of an offshoot of, not an offshoot, but they basically saw that Dollar Shave Club was crushing it, and they were like, hey, what's the opposite of that? Dollar Beard Club. And they basically took that concept and went with something that was already working and built a very successful company by basically modeling this other version that was already successful. Anyways, Alex Brown is sort of a guru, which I think he would hate if he knew I called him that, when it comes to subscription services. Dollar Beard Club basically grew from 0 to, I think, 10 million a year, maybe more eventually, through subscriptions and through getting people into these small subscriptions. They learned a lot along the way as far as what keeps people in subscriptions, what doesn't work, what does work, and we'll probably talk about that a bit. We'll also talk about, personal stuff, because I like doing that. I love subscription services. My business is pretty heavy on the subscription base. And it's going to be fun actually to talk to you about that. Maybe I'll pick up some stuff because I'm just a student of the world, learning from everybody around me. I'm a real curious guy. So let's just go do this. I don't think I need to say too much more, but I think you're going to like today's vehicle. It's not this chair.
Oh! Yo! That's about as dressed up as I get right now. Oh! Good to see you, fella.
Joseph?
Good to see you, too.
You got beside me, too? Wait, what's up? Hey, you didn't even run away.
Oh, he's one of those dogs.
I'm so beside me. See you on another day.
Goodbye.
I love you so much. You're a beautiful dog. You're very pretty. You're a very pretty dog. Hey, I need to do.
If only someone loved me as much as you love him.
That's not possible.
It's true.
Humans, unfortunately, do not have the capacity to love humans as much as they love dogs, because their love for dogs is unconditional, because dogs can't stop loving them, and humans can stop loving them. So people cannot open up enough to be like, hey, I'm gonna love this human with all of my heart, as if they could just leave me at any time and be totally okay with it.
What about the people who don't like dogs? Or they just have no soul?
Those aren't people. Those are a 4-letter word that I can't say in America.
What is it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
So, by the way,
where are we
I
going
pulled
here?
out all the stops for you today.
Oh.
So, one of the most recent episodes, we were in a nice Porsche. One of the episodes before that, we had a Tesla. I've taken people around in my Jag XC with its nice V6
I'm excited.
supercharger.
What do we got here?
Today we have one of the most revolutionary vehicles in the past, I don't know, maybe century. It's a 2-wheeled ride, which is going to be interesting for both of us to maneuver sort of a 2-wheel vehicle.
Okay.
It's called a bird scooter, and I kept one in my front yard for you. I also grew my grass out for you. This model has the beeping extreme alarm system.
For people like you that try and get a free ride all the time.
Yeah, it's mainly designed for people like me. So this bird also has reflective wheels. This is one of the nicest versions they have. So this is for safety. So if there's anybody coming by and they don't see you and boom, the light comes off. There's a dual braking system on this, which most people are not aware of. They think, oh, hey, it says stop right here. That's all we got.
Right.
Nope. What? Classic for kids like me who grew up with a Razor scooter who know friction. Friction stops things.
I'm really impressed, I gotta say.
So this one rings in at a whopping 1/3 horsepower. Ooh. So it's like if you just cut off a horse and just had its hind legs and no neural firing system to help it go, it would be sort of like that. It was designed actually by some asshole who does not like people's safety on sidewalks and who wants drunk people everywhere to get in accidents.
I like this guy.
And annoy people with sounds. Actually, so birds are a very controversial subject right now. And when I say birds, normally I'm referring to women because I'm English.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm referring to the scooter. So just so we don't confuse ourselves for the next little bit here.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm referring to the bird scooter that I'm.
I did gather that.
Okay, context
But-
cues. Okay. So, God, if this thing beeps again, I'm gonna lose my mind.
You gotta pay for it, man.
So I'll pay for it in a minute. I'm not gonna pay extra while we wait. Designed.
This is my
for-
favorite feature that you're
The
skipping.
people that can do this are athletes, and they're letting normal people ride these, which is ridiculous because they're not for normals. That's what I call non-athletes. the normals, not like I have a preference to athletes or anything.
Oh man, I would have preferred just like getting a horse. You don't need to stand on it to activate it, you know that.
No, I just want to show off. Okay, how many texts can people send me one? Network error. Okay, really? Good job, Bird. Hey, you had some free advertising potential, Bird, and you
Yeah.
are flipping bombing right now. I am gonna break you in half.
You're referring to
This
the bird
is
and
such
not
an
me? or-
effortless system. It's so easy to use. Okay, come on.
Oh,
Unlocking ride. Friendly reminder, please don't ride on sidewalks.
rules are meant to be broken.
Here's the thing. Nobody listens to this. They say, wear a helmet. You know, maybe we're not going to be able to air this. They're going to be like, did you agree to wear a
Yeah.
helmet? We're going to ride on the sidewalk, and we're going to go, so...
Oh,
We're not
same
gonna-
one. Same one. Okay.
Um,
This is just out of control.
There are so many scooter companies that talk about it. Now it's saturated. Uber was basically like really... they actually, so birds started to cannibalize part of the business.
This is great.
This is wonderful.
Later, man. That is some athleticism
See,
right there.
What it does is
Pretty-
it has
pretty-
the added bonus of looking very cool in front of the opposite, or same sex. Probably better in front of the same sex even.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. To be honest on this one, I feel like I don't want to use Uber's scooter because they really they were pissed off because birds started to cannibalize their market. And people are like, I'd rather ride a bird for not ride a bird like a woman.
Right,
To
right,
be
right.
clear, we're talking about scooters still. So I
So
think we should
you're upset
get,
because somebody took somebody else's idea, sort of like, a concept for a show or a character or something like that. This is interesting.
Yeah, are you talking about like Dollar Beard Club? Oh! Or are you talking about like taking the concept of like humans who have a certain skill, putting them in a type of vehicle, and then obtaining a certain type of beverage?
No, I was talking about my own business.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I thought. Yeah,
I'm a thief.
Yeah, the Beard Club now. See if you can get on here.
How do we be really athletic? Do I put my arms
Yes,
around you?
yes, of course.
I got one foot on.
I'm getting humped.
Okay.
This is the slowest bird
is,
I've ever. This
That's
is
because
literally
we've got
full
like
speed.
400 pounds on
This
it.
is full speed. It's not working.
Okay, I'll jog beside you.
No, this one is actually like broken. Here's the. Ooh. Boom.
Just gotta use the brake.
This just crossed. I actually don't let my guests ride anything.
It's okay. He's got a bunch of shit on the back of his coat. It's all right. Doesn't even know.
Did you see that?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, yeah.
I got so much air.
You're like a child at the pool. Like, mommy, look. You're not looking.
It's just a few more miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like humiliate the Canadian. I get it. But here. Okay, I'm riding it back.
It's like a half pipe. You take it the rest of the way.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I trust you.
It's on your dollar.
I know.
All right.
Say I didn't do anything for
See if
you.
I'm athletic enough.
Whoa! Safety.
It's a one-hander.
Look at that. He's using the foot brake like an athlete. It's okay.
Let's get
so,
segways next time.
So what do you? Oh, that'd be wonderful. Do you have a stance on scooter life?
I mean, I'm a
I
fan.
called it scooter life.
To be honest, I started, the first time I ever rode one was in Santa Monica. And, it's just like always perfect weather there, so it's never an
Yep.
issue.
That's where I'm moving.
And, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
I think the funniest thing about that it makes you take a picture is if you've never ridden one, it just looks like you're documenting that you just rode a scooter.
Like
Check
the
out
Austin
my
sign.
Cool day. Hey, look at this. They tell me,
Yeah.
one less car. Your ride helped take a car off the road, reduce traffic congestion and carbon emissions, and also pissed off 73 people when you were
Yeah.
riding on the sidewalk like a drunken asshole. Should we drink?
But I have to speak tomorrow, and usually whenever I speak,
You're always hungover. When was the
Actually,
last
I'd
time you spoke when you weren't hungover? Last
Now you
time.
have to keep it even because.
yeah, now I've got anxiety
Oh.
just thinking about not being hungover.
Yeah, exactly. Remember last time we both spoke at that event? You were very hungover.
No, I was drunk, actually. I had
You were still drunk.
Yes.
You were
No, I had to have another drink because I was all worried. Well, let's have one drink and see where it goes.
Yeah.
I never just have one.
I mean, I didn't drink for almost 90 days at the microdosing ayahuasca thing, so I just feel like if I'm gonna drink, it's got to be the right reasons now.
Yeah.
Like people are like, I didn't drink for 30 days. I didn't drink 45 days. I think I'm just never gonna drink again. And I'm like, that's really dumb, I think, because unless you have like really severe issues, like what it makes you realize when you're not drinking is it's very easy to not drink. It's just more boring.
Yeah.
But what it made me think, like people are like, maybe I'll never drink again. I'm like, I doubt it, first off, but also I think that's stupid because the reality is, in my opinion, is that alcohol makes certain things better. It makes certain like events and nights better. And so like
agree.
if I had, like you're in town, there's people.
I don't
here
know if
for,
we'd
like,
be
social
friends
media.
if it wasn't for
If
going
it
out
weren't for
and
alcohol, we
getting
would
drunk a
not
couple
be
times.
friends.
Yeah.
That is true. Do you feel that the effect of not drinking wears off though?
I definitely have noticed that like hump that you get over with drinking when it's like, yeah, that initial spike. It's like altitude training. You know, people go and trade in the mountains and they come down and they're like, you know, killing it.
That is, and then but
You
if
know.
you stay down out of the mountains for long enough, that's
Yeah.
a really good analogy.
Yeah.
You stay in the mountains long enough, you're like, this is just normal again, and I'm
Today
not a
we're
super-
climbing the mountain.
Yeah.
We're putting in that work.
Yeah, this
So
is
that
what we're
tomorrow,
doing.
well, the next day,
Yeah.
we will be.
I don't train for tomorrow, actually, Alex. I train for 3 months from now, for 6 months from now.
Yeah.
I'm a long view kind of guy.
Wow, this is
Yeah.
a productive day.
And you got to train hard. You
Yeah.
gotta train like a little bitch.
Don't half-ass anything.
Yeah.
Actually, I do half-ass some things. You know.
I do too. People that say they don't half-ass things are putting in way too much effort.
Yeah, you gotta
You gotta
lie.
half-ass some things.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, a margarita is basically a salad because it's sort of green.
Should have got one.
Yeah. Science.
this-
Love beer.
Oh,
Ooh, that
yes.
looks delightful.
That is wonderful.
So here's the thing about why I love this Entrepreneurs and Vehicles Getting Beverages show so much is the openness of the whoa, you're just gonna not cheers?
You're taking forever, man. It's been on the table for 30
I'm
seconds.
Building.
Okay,
I'm going through a thing here.
I didn't know this was
Having
scripted.
a
Okay.
mo- it's not scripted. That's why you tried to do that. If this was scripted, I would have been like, hey, so at this team
okay.
time, we're gonna do. Can I go again? So the thing that I really love about this concept that I came up with is that, you know, first off, anybody can be an entrepreneur technically, right? You could. So
Almost everyone is now.
Oh, everybody is now. On
Yeah.
Instagram, everyone's an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur. But the vehicles part leaves us open to incredibly exciting vehicles like the Bird scooter,
Yep.
which I still want to talk to you about and your opinions about it. But also the beverages does not limit us to the coffee. You know, that some other shows, really good shows, have sort of limited people to
Yeah.
cars and to coffee. And I feel like, wow, well that's, you know.
You've really thought this through.
Yeah, I mean, come on, cheers
Can
to big thinking. Yeah, you're
Okay.
allowed. Cheers, man.
Cheers, buddy.
And then the entrepreneurs part, you know, my good friends are entrepreneurs, and I like, oh yes, catch,
Drunk already.
so drunk.
Oh, that's good.
Well, that is sour. I like it.
Excellent.
But the Bird scooters are an extremely controversial topic. They're kind of a absolutely hate them or really love them type thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'll give you my theory. My beliefs are love them when you're on them. It's incredibly hard to scooter angrily.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, I'm gonna, like, you can drive angrily. You don't scooter angrily. You go, I'm gonna just, like, the second you start riding, you're like, you know what? This is a nice thing.
Yeah.
Well, the first time we did it actually was at Traffic and Conversions last year. They had them in San Diego.
Yep.
And like, it was like me and actually the other beard company, Live Bearded, those
Yep.
guys, and then Jimmy Sparling. So it's
Spencer.
like a bunch of
Yep.
like just big, white, hairy bearded men. Like we looked like a motorcycle gang, like beat the shit out of some kids and took their scooters. Because at that time it wasn't a thing. Nobody rode scooters. And also scooters are, man, I don't know how to say a word that's the wrong, there's a word. It's kind of like rollerblading, right? It's frowned upon by masculine people. Is the most politically correct way I can think of it.
I mean, I listen to Taylor Swift and Backstreet Boys, so I'm not afraid of what other people say.
Dude, I know that you love T Swift and I love her. I just watched the Backstreet Boys documentary like 4 nights ago.
Isn't that good?
It is a cinematic masterpiece, dude.
They're making a comeback.
Dude, like, I'm 28, right? So when we were growing up, the Backstreet Boys got huge. And I hated them because girls love them. Is really what's happening is all the girls love them, so you go, I hate them.
I loved them then, but
okay.
Special kind of kid, I guess.
Yeah, you're Canadian. I think you're allowed to love things like that. In America, in England, you're taught that you are not allowed to like things like that. But I didn't think they were talented. I thought they were just some junk group. And then you listen to them like on that documentary and shit. They are super talented.
Yeah,
like they're pretty remarkable.
I saw them in Vegas.
Oh, you did? That's what we're gonna go do. Is it good?
It was so good, and so I went down with my friend Noah that I used to live with, that you met before, who worked at Beard Club.
Yep.
He met my ex-girlfriend and I in Vegas, and so Kat and I drove to Vegas, and she was talking on the phone with her friend on the way there. Friend's like, "Oh yeah, what are you guys doing in Vegas?" And she's like, "Well, we're gonna go see a musical and see this and that, and then Alex is going to see Backstreet Boys." And her friend's like, "Oh my God, you guys are gonna love that." She's like, "Actually, it's a boys' night. I wasn't invited." Oh. So I got a little flack for that, but I had to have it with Noah. We sort of like your bird story. We drive around in our like doorless Jeep, 2 guys with huge beards singing Backstreet Boys. We got a couple head turns.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a real thing for certain guys to connect over Backstreet Boys. Jesse Elder and I had a full sesh to.
I swear to God, if you put that song on at any bar, everyone will be singing it. You give the most masculine, I hate Backstreet Boys guy a couple drinks, he'll be singing that. Oh yeah.
I used to think it was just whiny and shit, but now listening to their voices, dude, the new album, DNA or whatever, I've been listening. There's a song called No Place.
I gotta listen to that. I haven't listened to it yet.
Dude, you're missing out.
Man.
It's lit. The kids would call it lit. I'm impressed. I did not expect to talk about Backstreet Boys here. I don't know. I'm behind on all those things.
What do kids say these days?
I don't know. I don't think they talk to each other because they're too busy on their iPhones and iPads with their cellular telephone devices and their internet connections.
Yeah.
I'll actually preemptively order another one, please.
No, it's fine.
So, when you guys started, what was Dollar Beard Club is now The Beard Club. Do you get tired of talking about it, by the way? Because I'm sure to some degree. We don't have
sort
to
of.
talk
No,
about
no.
It,
it's interesting.
It's an interesting story, and I know it was a big part of your growth, but now you're not doing it anymore, so it's not like we have to. But
well, honestly, I've gone through this just full circle evolution of it. So we had businesses before Beard Club that were really struggling, and then Beard Club, was received well out of the gates and took off. Now we didn't really know how to build true business and a proper business, so we started out building something for ourselves that was subscription beard products.
And it took off. Do you feel like it took off because you basically, I would say if you want a proven path to success, look at something that's already working and model it.
Yeah.
If you want to go huge, you're probably going to have to disrupt something, which is what Dollar Shave Club did.
Yeah.
And you guys are well, let's model that. And it took off pretty much immediately, right? After the first video.
We spent about, I was working on the products and the operations and stuff for about 8 months before we launched it. But immediately out of the gates, it was successful. But there was a lot that went into that.
8 months is a long time.
Yeah. Oh, we went through different iterations on the product and stuff like that. And so we actually had a Beard Club Lite version ready to go. We started showing people the video. Thank you. Started showing people the video, and they were loving it. We had more people that were advisors coming on board that had a bunch of influencers. So we're well, our distribution's going to be pretty good on this. So we kind of pumped the brakes, and we're let's build a little more structured business here. So we went to a contract manufacturer instead of white labeling stuff.
So you kind of did it right from the beginning.
We kind of did it right from the get-go.
With a long-term vision there.
Yeah. I mean, there was still a lot of
Not
like
right, 'cause
systems and
white
structures and
labeling, there's
mechanics.
nothing wrong with white labeling from the beginning to test a market.
Right. I mean,
But
we
you guys
just pulled
already
back
kinda
from
did
that.
test
We
because-
tested it.
yeah.
We kind of validated it based on what other people had thought, and there was just kind of a gaping hole, right? Like, the reason that I think it was so successful is because we were able to put a lot of our energy into it and made a really funny video, and everything that was on the market was like $20 beard oil. And we were like, were like, as a joke, like, we should make this video, it'll be really fun. But also we don't want to pay 20 bucks for beard oil because that seems ridiculous when we know we can make it for like 80 cents or 50 cents or whatever. So that was kind of the intention behind it.
And so you took the concept of the Dollar Shave Club video and pretty much made a very similar video, right?
Yeah.
Like in a warehouse.
Yeah,
same sort
made
of-
it our own a little bit, but
Yeah, of
yeah,
course you
similar
made it your
scenario.
own.
It
Yeah,
was
I'm
like
not
that
saying it was-
immediate kind of familiarity that people got. They're like, oh yeah, sort of been waiting for this, like for me, because I'm a bearded man,
Yeah.
and I don't buy razors, sort of thing. So people got it right out of the gates. Yeah, it was pretty. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of running around though in the beginning. 'Cause
Yeah.
we didn't have like a customer service plan in place. Our fulfillment was crazy. We had a high growth business, and we didn't know how to run a high growth business.
Yeah.
You know, so. It was a lot of learning, like all at once, but you know, our network was exploding. We started to get invited to all these like parties with celebrities, and you know, the media was talking about us because we had all these successful videos. So, you know, I sort of got my first taste of success, if you will, like from that business. And it's funny you mentioned like people keep talking about it now that I'm no longer with it, but like I was so identified with that success, and like I
Yeah.
think a lot of people get really identified with what they're doing, whether it's business or music or whatever. And I'd been unhappy for a while at the business, and I was like, well, I can't walk away. Like, I'm a co-founder of this business. I'm finally making money again. I'm getting all this praise. So like me being identified with that though sort of locked me into this pattern of unhappiness where I wasn't able to grow and do the things that I wanted to do.
And you were like the glue. in
Well, I was
that business.
behind the
You were
scenes,
behind
right?
the scenes.
Yeah.
You were in some videos, like, you
Yeah.
know.
Some cameos and
Yeah,
stuff.
some
but
cameos, but
I
like-
wanted the spotlight.
I don't think you did.
Not then, no, definitely not.
No.
I was terrified.
Yeah, with the copy and marketing business, it's like, okay, now I have all these people that are just paying every month.
Yeah.
It doesn't expand. I'm always like, how can I not change my workload and just change my income? And with subscriptions, that's absolutely possible to bring in more people.
Yeah.
And my workload doesn't change. I don't change. Like, I had a friend very brilliant guy who will hopefully be on the show at some point, who's a very funny guy and a copywriter, and every time somebody joined his group, he did a call with them, and he did all these things, and like, it was such a great group, but he had to put in more work. It wasn't scalable because he had to put in more work for every person that joined
Yeah.
the group. And I was like, stop, you're over-delivering so much. And for me, it's like, I don't have to change what I do in order to, I don't have to deliver more. If there's 200 people in the group or there's 2,000 people in the group,
Yeah.
my work's the same. We haven't talked about that much business stuff on this show. Let's not.
I don't even like business.
Fuck business.
Yeah.
You know what I hate?
Let's just make money.
I hate entrepreneurs.
Ferraris.
Yeah. I want a trust fund.
Yeah.
Where do
Let's
I-
make
where
money
do
without
I
doing
sign up-
business.
Where do I sign up for a trust fund? Do they have a list? I trust that
I don't
there's gotta
know.
be a
I think
list.
we could probably start dating extremely older women.
Oh, I thought you say guys.
That too. I mean, like, we shouldn't limit ourselves.
It's 2019, Alex.
You know, that doubles the market, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Denmark, they go, we'd like to have social health care or social
Free
schools.
education.
Everybody comes here. The Danish are so annoying. They come here and they go, you know, we've got free schools, and you know, you guys should. Oh, you have to pay. They always go like this to you. Oh, you had to pay for your education. We have a free school, and we come here for a vacation. They pay for that too. What's it like to have to pay for school? And you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Very great. It's almost like a Dutch accent.
That
They have
was
the-
actually- that
it's
was
a hard
totally
problem
Dutch.
with
That's
the
good Dutch.
yeah. I spent some time in Holland, quite some time.
That's good.
Um,
It's the ash.
It's the ash. It's
It's
a
the
very
ash.
hard problem with the ash.
hard.
We're gonna get a lot of Dutch hate mail.
I just did a Wim Hof thing in Iceland with a Dutch guy. So, Daniel, if you're watching, if you could tell Holland to be okay, really appreciate that.
And to all
That's
my
cool.
Dutch friends, if I die here today, take all my stuff and leave.
The Dutch, it's cool. Well, you know, we have fun. We like cold.
Yeah.
But like we make heroin is cool.
Yeah.
It's legal.
To each their own. Should we call Ron?
Yeah, that's cool. What's Ron's name again?
Ron Lynch of the Big Baby Agency.
Hello.
Oh. Hello. Ronald?
My phone says Ian Stanley the Tool Guy.
Oh. Yeah, no, people call me that.
I don't know why.
I have a buddy who still has my name. This is like a long-term friend who still has my name in his phone as Ian Accent, which is super offensive because like that's what some random girl would put me in as, and he's like a good friend of mine.
Well, what's funny is he has the accent, you don't.
Yeah.
You guys spoke it first.
That's true.
I just finally got a call for the Swiss consulate. Someone just called me and rang me and was trying so I have somebody who needs to claim asylum.
Oh, because you get those real calls, right? From people thinking that you are the actual Swiss. Do you know that? He gets real calls, yeah. Because he has his house listed as the Swiss consulate. People think it's the real one. And so they call and they're like, this is a Dutch version.
Back to the Dutch.
This is it. We are Swiss.
Well, he was like, well, how could we get to Switzerland? I'm like, well, you would take a plane, but once you get there, he goes, well, what's the requirements? I'm like, you have to have enough money to live for the rest of your life. Go to their website, because that's what they say. If you want to immigrate to Switzerland.
Excuse me, what are the requirements to move to Switzerland? You've got to be extremely wealthy and white. They really prefer if you're extremely wealthy and white. That's their favorite type of people.
Yes.
All right, well, I guess we're going to get back to our show now.
All right, well, enjoy your show. Be good. Have fun.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll see you later on.
Later, mate.
Bye-bye.
Later on. Later on.
Whoa.
Later on. That kind of blew my mind, right?
Dude.
We'll see you later on. Are you saying later on or later, Ron? Or are you saying it all?
You should do stand-up. Have you ever thought about it?
No, I'm more of a lay-down kind of guy.
Starfish.
Yeah. I've thought about doing that on stage, just going up and being like, this stand-up thing is exhausting. But I don't look like a guy who'd be exhausted by standing because of my physical build.
Really? I never put that together. I feel like we should have started filming now because I've got a bit of a buzz.
Yeah.
You know. And
So
now,
we don't have to stop. We can go back to that noise. That is the noise. No, I don't mean that noise of like going to. No, that's the noise of just like white women
having
just
fun
somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is,
About to make a huge mistake.
Yeah.
You know. We could be that guy.
We could be the mistake. Like it's just that there's a noise they have.
Yeah.
That's a dinosaur.
Do you believe in dinosaurs?
Do I believe in dinosaurs? No, honestly, here's my thought on dinosaurs. You're gonna put me on a fucking thing right now. So I have this bit that I've kind of been working on for really a long time technically because I've had this thought of who decided what sound dinosaurs make? Because nobody knows. And then some guy was like, hey,
do they not fossilize their sounds as well?
They can't. So, and here's the thing about science, right? People are so into science right now, that's kind of religion, right? People are like, well, scientifically, actually, dinosaurs were this size and this. You don't know. You don't know anything because you didn't see a dinosaur. I'm sorry, you can tell me about your fossils and your little carbon dating and your circles in the trees and this is when they lived. You don't know fucking anything that didn't happen while you've been alive, technically. I'm not saying all science is bullshit. I'm saying dinosaur science, pretty faulty.
A lot of speculation, yeah.
Also, I think dinosaur scientists, and I don't think they call them that, but I call them that. They might have a different name, like paleontologists or something, but dinosaur scientists are dicks. I think they're the most dickish of all the scientists. Because they also...
Especially Dutch ones.
Well, the Dutch dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs. There's two ashes in dinosaur.
Dinosaurs. You should have seen the dinosaurs we had in Holland.
I think that the most interesting part of this onslaught of hatred towards dinosaur scientists is the fact that you don't even know what to call them. So they probably won't be that upset that you're saying all of this stuff about you.
They'll be sitting a bunch of paleontologists like, well, he's not talking about us. He's talking about the fossil guys.
The dinosaur. Yeah.
We actually have a really close relationship. Like, they're going to invite me to speak at their thing. Like, he's talking about the other dinosaur scientists, not us. And I'm going to build a huge following in the dinosaur science arena.
You sound like someone from the deep south who deeply contests evolution. Like, these dinosaur scientists, they're full of shit.
Wait a second. You may have just made the bit for me, because maybe I need to be like, look, I have a whole thing about dinosaurs and fossils that I have to do, but if I do it in my normal voice, it's not that funny. You need to imagine that I am a southern man who hates all science.
Yeah, the propagation of lies.
Hey, look, let me tell you something about these dinosaur scientists. If that's even your real name. Well, here's the thing about dinosaur noises. Hey, Nigel, if that's even hey, Nigel.
Look here, Nigel.
Hey, Mr. Planet Earth. Hey, I live in the real world where God created the earth, where Adam and Eve were in Missouri. That's
More
what the
important
movies
than your
do.
Greenwich Mean Time.
Your Greenwich. I've been to Greenwich. New York ain't that cool.
I feel like, not to give you advice on how to do your own show, but I'm going to.
I really want advice. I'm struggling with this bit.
I feel like it should almost be like you should steal ideas from another show called Drunk History, where you progressively ask people more and more business-focused questions and then try and keep them focused on business. Because I feel like here we started talking about business, and now that I've had a few of these,
No, but I
now we're
wanted to do
talking
that.
about like dinosaur hate.
Yeah, but
You
I
know?
wanted
Well,
to do
actually,
that.
no.
This
To be
is
clear, you've never
strategic.
hated on dinosaurs.
No,
You love
dinosaurs are fine.
dinosaurs. Yeah.
It's the scientists behind them that are driving me crazy. The bit really actually starts out with that I don't believe in global warming because my dad made a really clear point. He said, well, if global warming's real, then why does it keep getting cold? And I'm like, can't argue with that science. And so, since he said that, I'm like, okay, he's nailed it. But I think we could get rid of all this global warming and climate change stuff very quickly if we just got rid of half the population.
Yes,
And so-
especially the ones that pollute in excess, like us.
No.
Wait.
So you have the wrong standards. Okay. So
Oh.
if you've seen the Avengers: Infinity War, you've got Thanos, who's got a very clear path of doing it. So I'm going to get rid of half the people. He goes, it's extreme, it's random and dispassionate. My method for getting rid of half the people is extremely selective and passionate. There is no randomness or dispassionateness involved. It is a select group of people. The first group are chair draggers. So you go to coffee shops, okay? So you probably know this. People
Anyone
don't
that
go to
doesn't pick up their chair. Like,
this?
yeah.
You know that guy.
What about people
the
that
coffee
drag
shop.
their feet? Is
They
that
shouldn't
an
even be
issue?
alive in the first place. I didn't even think about them.
Yeah.
The other two that I've got really dialed in so far are loud talkers, both on the phone and just in general.
And anyone with an
And
accent. Oh.
Well, everybody's got an accent technically. Yeah, so we'd all be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think that through.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah, pretty good. And then type 3 is, people who FaceTime in public. I think they're one of the worst groups of people
Yeah.
who are like, hey, no, nope. But instead, in a normal situation, everybody's around them. No, I'm not busy.
Yeah.
Nope. Just I want to kill them on camera so that the person on the other side learns that that's what's going to happen to them. So by the way, I bought the domain Drunk Marketing quite a long time ago and had a Facebook page about it, and I was going to build a brand around that, so you were right. about the
Episode
drunk
1.
History thing. Episode 1.
I mean, if you really think about it, you can really align your drinking with a greater purpose. And that's where everything clicks into place, you know?
Well, what it does is it's like, I'm not normally going to drink, and then when I have somebody on this, let's go.
Yeah. So you're going to be filming episodes like fucking 3-4 times a week.
I'm like, look.
Morgan's like, oh my God, there's
I'm
no.
an alcoholic because I drink at 10
Yeah.
a.m. because I'm filming a show. Okay, Mom, just because I'm living at your house again and everything's falling apart doesn't mean I have
Yeah.
a problem. I interviewed Mark from Cuba yesterday.
Some people just blow things out of proportion, you know?
So Christopher Walken, here's my one Christopher Walken joke. Guys, come on, I got a new show coming out on AMC. It's about my dead ancestors. It's called The Walking Dead. I thought you were gonna spit out your drink. It didn't go.
Are you proud of yourself?
No.
That was good, but it wasn't spit drink out good. You know, you gotta really.
The Walking Dead, you know, because you get it because his relatives are dead.
Yeah.
His last name's Walking. Walking.
I get it.
And there's a show called The Walking Dead.
I get it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Dave Grohl talking?
Oh, what?
Oh no, scene. Yeah. Dave Grohl on, I forget like where he's being interviewed for, but he was from the Foo Fighters, yes, and Nirvana. He did his like Christopher Walken impression. It was so good. He was like, oh, how do you? Christopher Walken came up to them when they were doing Saturday Night Live. He's like, how do you want to be introduced? You want the accent on the Foo or the Fighters? And he's like, well, I know, I know Christopher Walken. So I was like, it's on the Fighters. And Christopher Walken comes out, he's like, it's ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters. It's a great clip. Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Come on.
The accent that doesn't need to be there on the Foo or the Fighters.
We're fighting all the Foo. We're doing really well.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah?
If you could put Backstreet Boys on the.
That would be amazing.
That would pull this. My power.
That
I
would
would
tie
like to
this.
admit that, but
The other
that would tie
patrons-
this whole show together.
oh,
Yeah.
I don't care about the other patrons. You guys are my only tables.
Yeah.
Yes, best by default. I love it.
Probably more than that.
If
Let
I
me
do
get
hurt
guys
you,
anything else to drink, by the way. I feel like I want to fuel this fire, so
I think he needs a beer.
God's sakes. Well, I got to go to the bathroom again. I mean,
Oh, because he's drinking beer.
I've drank 5 beers. I think 4 beers. Anyway,
4 beers. Good count.
4 beers.
that's what I'm here
Actually,
for.
I think it was only 2 when it comes to the tab. Oh no, Ian's
He's
paying.
paying.
It was like
I
10.
was like, no, he's got 10. He's paying.
Yeah, I'm paying.
I'll take 2. How should we bring this one home then?
If you could fuck any guy in the world.
What's that?
If you could fuck any guy in the world.
Well, it'd be you, Ian Stanley.
Oh, we've already done
Is that the answer you were looking
We've
for?
already done that. No. If you had to tell somebody starting or running a subscription business one thing, what would that be?
I mean, we kind of talked about this earlier. It's really to take care of the people that are
have
buying
already-
from you.
yeah.
You can't scale a subscription business unless you have a good experience.
What's one maybe unexpected or unusual way to take care of somebody who's already a buyer? Like what's one retention trick that maybe you guys have used that most people wouldn't think of?
It's a really good question. I think it's not necessarily one secret or hack. It's just sort of
Good.
thinking about the experience.
Yeah.
It's like delivering product on time so people aren't getting charged,
At the wrong
right
time.
after they get their first month or second month or whatever. It's reminding people that they have a subscription. It's like following up after they've made a purchase and helping them build a habit with it, getting them ready, sort of like maybe doing email marketing, if you will.
Yeah, I have a whole sequence for buyers of like, the second section is build a habit.
Yeah.
Like get them addicted to your product. So I think what you
And
said,
having good product is important too, that
yeah.
people want to keep using.
it's weird. Nobody wants to use my piece of shit product every month. People keep canceling after the first one because it's a piece of shit.
And it was like the cheapest product I could find
Yeah.
to sell.
I don't
This
understand
doesn't
why
make
people don't want
sense.
to keep using this product that I myself would never use. I'm really glad you said that because even when I said trick, I hate the whole like trick hack.
No,
I'm
well,
glad you
there are
changed the-
certain things that people know that are worth like pointing out of like, hey,
Yeah.
you might not have thought of this. But I'm sort of, based on my experience in building a business, I seem to have learned that like, the more I look for the answer and like the software and the trick and the strategy, the more I get distracted from like just building a business and keeping people happy. And something my dad taught me very early on was like, just do something good and other people they're gonna talk to their friends about it
Yeah.
who need that same thing. Provide a good solution, take care of people, and they'll take care of you.
Yeah. I think that's the big piece is what you said is focus on their experience. Treat your customers like people and not like numbers in your
Yeah.
business.
And if you've gone out and you've done it and that's what you're now teaching, or like if you're selling a product and you really care about that product, then it should be pretty easy for you to do that. You're designing the experience that you want to have, that you
yeah.
care about, that you're passionate about. And that's
what
really
I did.
important.
the first time I made the email product was, what would I do if somebody erased my brain, like all the stuff that I've learned about email copy, and I had to learn it in 4 weeks? How would I treat myself? Then I just made that product.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing too, man. It's like,
With
what did I wish I had when I started?
Yeah.
You know,
with your ecommercerockstars.co business. I looked at the wrong camera. That's how you know. But to that, I say, at certain times,
EIVGB.
EIVGB.
I can't wait to get in so much trouble.
Should we head back to the house?
Let's do it.
Fuck you, entrepreneurs and vehicles getting beverages. Yes, oh, yes, we did.
We got it.
So fast. Oh, we're good. We're moving. How do people do? I always see dudes with chicks doing this.
God, we're athletic.
I can't hit the brakes.